Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to put together some Mongolian beef stir-fry, and we're going to be packaging that with our chicken fried rice that we did last week. So to start off, we need to get our beef tenderized. What do they call that? Velveting. We're going to velvet our beef, and we're going to use 2 pounds of beef. Now I got a 4-pound roast, so I'm going to basically cut that in half, and we'll use half of that for the stir fry, and the other half I'm going to make some beef jerky with later. So this is rump roast. This is a rump roast that I got on sale at Price Chopper. So first of all, let's get 2 pounds kind of measured out. 2.06 pounds. Not a bad guess. I'll take that fat off there. Alright, that's close enough for going for. So what we're going to do with this roast, to see which way the grain is going, this way across the roast. So the first thing we're going to do is cut this down in halfway with the grain. This is when we slice it up. Now we're going to slice about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch slices across the grain. Let me get this done. I'll be right back. I'm cutting these in about inch squares, roughly. Exact. Little bite-sized squares, like that's a bit. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 teaspoon of baking soda per pound of beef. So there's 2 pounds in there, so we're going to put 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Then we're going to put 1/4 of a cup per pound of water. So 2 pounds, so 2/4 is 1/2 of a cup. We want to get all that baking soda and everything totally coating this beef. Now, we're going to cover this and put this in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. That's why we wanted to do it in the afternoon. It's kind of done ahead of time. It's in there nice and well. So we'll get this in the fridge for 2 hours and I'll be back. Alright, while that is marinating or velveting in the fridge over there, I went ahead and got my stuff ready for the sauce. So, and let you know what we got in this sauce. Okay, so we're going to take a small bowl, and in that small bowl we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 3 tablespoons of Hoisin Sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and 1/2 teaspoon of minced ginger. And I just get the minced ginger in a jar and garlic in a jar. Give that all a good mix. That's all there is to that. So let me get this cleared off. By that time, my 2 hours will be up, so I'll be right back. Alright, my beef has been tenderizing in the fridge for 2 hours. Now I'm going to take this over to the sink, and we're going to rinse this very well. We want to get rid of all of that baking soda so that we don't have a bad taste. So we're going to rinse it very well, and then we're going to try and squeeze the water, excess water, out of the beef. So I'll be right back, and let me get this all rinsed out. All right, I got that drained as well as I could, but rinsing it is very important. All right, so now let's take 3 tablespoons roughly of vegetable oil, put it in our skillet, or if you're lucky enough to have a wok, use that. Medium high. Let that oil get hot. While that's heating up, I'll just let you know I got 1 medium onion that I chopped up, 2 bell peppers that I chopped up. I picked yellow and red because that's the colors I like. I got how much garlic here? 4 cloves of garlic, which is 4 teaspoons of minced garlic right here. 1/2 teaspoon of minced ginger. I got about 10 dried chili peppers. really that's about it. And then my oil that we're using. First we're going to fry up our beef. This is going to move pretty quick once we get moving. All right, so let's go ahead and put our beef in. And we're going to do this for about, it says 3 minutes, but I got a lot of beef here. We just want this to get medium rare, cooked on the outside. You know what I mean? All right, that's probably been closer to 5 minutes, but then I don't have an even heat on the whole wok type thing. It's right in the center. So I had to keep it moving the more uncooked meat to the center and the cooked meat out from the center. All right, so I'm going to take this over and drain this excess grease. Man, that is nice and tender. Just what it was supposed to be. All right, now we're going to mix in our 4 cloves of garlic and the half a teaspoon of ginger. We're just going to saute that for about a minute is all. All right, now let's take our bell peppers and our onions. Saute those. All right, so that's been probably about 3 minutes. You can cook your vegetables to the tenderness you like. I like a little bit of crispiness to my vegetables. But just be aware that we're cooking this with the beef, so we don't want the beef to get too overdone. So just bear that in mind. I pretty much kept this moving the whole time. Now we're going to add I got 8 dried peppers. These are Thai dried peppers. Put those in there. Add our sauce. And stir this constantly for probably another 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. And man, this is looking good. That's all there is to it. Let me get this cleared off. I'll be right back. All right. Now we're hoping to get 2.5 pounds out of this. What I'm going to do is if I see these peppers in, the chili peppers in there, I'm going to pull those out. Try and divide those up between servings. Does that look good? You know it does. 2.4 pounds, so we're close. It'll just have to do. And you know, I've got to have one piece of this beef just to see what it tastes like. Oh man. That is tender. Bit salty. If you're worried about your salt intake, you might want to use reduced sodium soy sauce, but it tastes delicious. Now let me get my divider. I'm going to divide that. I had 8 peppers, so I'm going to have to split 2 of the biggest ones. That way each meal is a little pepper to rehydrate with, a little flavor to that. And oh my gosh, that is delicious. Have a look at that. What do you think of that? All right, so I'm gonna let this cool down. And once it's cooled down, we'll get it in the freezer, get it frozen solid. Once it's all frozen solid, we'll fire up the freeze dryer, get it freeze drying. I'll see you when this comes out of the freeze dryer. See you then. There we have it. 40 hours in the freeze dryer. We got our tray of Mongolian beef topping and 2 trays of chicken fried rice. And we're going to package those together. So for the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and get our rice in the bags, or the meal pouches. So we're going to put 2 squares of rice per pouch. And we just need to kind of just crumble that up a little bit like that. So let me get these done and I'll be right back. All right, that's the rice here. Get this out of the way and I'll be right back. Now when we're packing this, we can go 2 ways, one of 2 ways. You could just put this in with the rice right now in the bag, and when we rehydrate it, we would all rehydrate it all together in one lump sum, which quite honestly, in an emergency or survival or camping situation, that's probably the way you want to do it. You don't want to add extra steps and all that. But for today, and I like to give the option of rehydrating the rice and the Mongolian beef separately. So that's what we're going to do for these meals. So what I'm going to use here is I got a 1 quart, I think these are, Ziploc freezer bag. We're going to put 1 square of our Mongolian beef in. And before I took those molds out, I just took a knife and went around the edges, kind of give me a better cut. In hindsight, I should have probably just filled the put the dividers in and then filled the tray, and then everything would have been nice and separate. Okay, so now we're just going to take this, and we are not going to zip it shut. We're going to leave that open. We're going to roll it and pop it in our pouch. That way, when we add our O2 absorber to this pouch, it's going to take the air, the oxygen out of that Ziploc bag and the rice. So, let me get on with that, and I'll be right back. All right, got those all packaged up. Now we need our 10 300 cc O2 absorbers with that Ziploc bag inside. You got to kind of try and make sure that it clears the Ziploc on the meal pouch so that we can get this sealed up. So just be aware of that. Zip those shut like that. Set those aside, ready for the heat seal, and I'll be right back. All right, those are all bagged up. My sealer is heated up, so let's get these heat sealed. I'll get this done and we'll be right back. That aside. Now, I'll leave these sit out for a day or two just to make sure everything stays sealed nice and tight. With that sealer, I've never had a problem, but we still check it every time. So leave this out for a day or two, and then we'll put it away for long-term storage. In the meantime, later today, we are going to come back and rehydrate one of these for my dinner tonight. I'll see you then. Okay, it's dinner time, so let's get to cooking. Or not. All right. All right, there's my Mongolian beef insert, O2 absorber, and my fried rice. Now, in survival, and probably if I wasn't doing videos, I would have just combined these two in the bag and we'd rehydrate it all at once. But it displays prettier for the camera if we do it separately. So we put 2 squares of fried rice in there using my formula of 1/4 cup per square. We're going to put 1/2 cup of hot water in our rice. All right, that's a 1/2 cup there. A little stir, get everything wet. And just lock that shut. Now, I don't know if I'd recommend this at home, but I got a freezer bag here, and we put 1 square of that in there, of the Mongolian beef in there. So that's 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna see what happens when I put 1/4 cup in my freezer bag here. If the freezer bag will hold it. I got it in a bowl just in case it don't. All right. No. We're gonna let that sit for 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. Right. That's been 2 minutes. Let's give my rice a stir. Looking good in there, let me tell you. Smelling good. Oh, it'll be good. I can tell that. Give that shot. Let's take our meat, some stuff that wasn't soaking under the water. Let's wait another 2 minutes. All right, it's been our last 2 minutes. Open the ricer up. Give that one final stir. And with these meal pouches, this right from the pouch, especially if I had that mixed in with this, you wouldn't have to dirty no dishes. But we are going to, for the camera, dish this out. Getting all the goodness out of that. Oh, man, that's good. That's really good. Now, if you're waiting for to see how this rice comes back all the way from last week's video, let me show you what this looks like close up. Does that look good or what? You know it does. I restarted that again. You know that looks good. So we've had this in here for 4 minutes plus I guess another 2 minutes because I restarted that. So that's a total of 6 minutes rehydrating that topping here. So let's give this a good stir. It feels like it might be a little bit not tender with the top. That last onion. All right, let me show you what that looks like. So let's do a taste test to see how this came out. First, let's just get just a bit of that rice all on its own. That came back perfect. If you guys haven't made up some of that chicken fried rice in the Instapot stroke Ninja Foodie, you've got to do it. It just comes out so beautiful. And that gravy I poured over this, there's a bit of kick from that red pepper we put in it, which I like eating. Let's see how bit of this meat comes back. I don't have high hopes for the meat. Not quite as tender as we first made it, but it's not bad. It's not leathery. I thought it was going to be like leather. Great flavor to it. Let's try another piece. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you, with some of that chicken in my rice. This is a winner. I think for the beef, the trick is we need to keep that really thinly sliced. I mean, the best way I've found to do a beef is in the slow cooker. I don't have one of those things, sous vide or whatever. I don't have that, but you can probably cook it in that, and it comes out really tender and shreddy. Wanting to shred, that rehydrates beautiful. When I cook the beef, I mean, it might be tender when we eat it fresh, but it always takes a little bit more to rehydrate it. Now we did another thing I noticed, it don't taste as salty as what I remember the fresh tasting. Wonder why that is. Maybe because of the added rice to it or something. We didn't salt our rice or anything. Chicken stock that I didn't add any salt to in the recipe when we made the rice. Chicken stock from my shredded chicken that I made in the crock pot with just water and garlic powder and onion powder and liquid smoke. So we didn't have any salt in that. So the saltiness of the Mongolian beef may be balanced out with the rice. That's your information there. And we tenderized our beef. The name escapes me what they call that right now. That's old age. It gets to you. You just forget things. I know what the term is. Velveting the beef. We velveted the beef and in baking soda. And I think that did make a difference to this because rump roast can be a very, very tough meat. This isn't tough at all. So that velveting made a difference for sure. If you used a higher end cut of meat, it would just fall apart in your mouth, I'm sure. The velveting did the trick with this beef. But let me tell you, this is absolutely gorgeous. I am happy. It's really motivated me to move on with these other ones that I have, the other recipes that we're going to be putting together using chicken fried rice. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, this rice is what you'll see in the video, and if you haven't seen my fried rice video, I'll leave a link to that. I'll pin it to the top in the comments below. That way you can see how we made this chicken fried rice. You've got to try it. Now, going on, I did a lot of experiment batches of chicken fried rice until I got this one's the one I like, and I'm not going to waste those. So the chicken fried rice is going to be a little bit different because we got to use that. We can't waste that. No way. Just to let you know. But this recipe, all right. Now's a good time to remind you that content providers survive on likes and subscribers. And I appreciate all you guys out there that do hit that thumbs up. And my subscribers, I've been doing this since 2019, to 4 to 5, coming up on 7 years. And I got a fair amount of subscribers, 23,000, I think, something like that. But it should be higher. It should be higher. So it doesn't cost you a penny to just hit that subscribe button. And if you don't turn the bell, if you don't click that bell, you won't even get notified of my videos, but you'd be helping me out. If you click the bell, you'll get notified in your YouTube notifications that I've created. But it just helps. That's how YouTube content creators survive. I'm just asking for your help. Asking for help, but it's very important. Now, this is a beautiful meal, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I really I'm looking forward to you coming back next week, and let's see what else we can do. Chicken fried rice. I'll see you then.